Okay, whoa, loud microphone. Hi guys. So I'll be doing some stand-up then.
Paul Creasy, Mr. Creasy.
Yes.
I have a few questions for you as well.
Okay.
Okay. First of all, what are you doing?
I've got no idea what I'm doing, but I'm hoping nobody will notice.
You seem to be British. Why?
It's something I ask myself every day. It just kind of happened to me one day. I was born, and apparently my parents decided I didn't have enough sexual repression or enough of a charming accent in my life, so British it was.
Paul, here's my question. So you're British. You're from a nation that history is desperately trying to leave behind. How's that feel?
I feel like it's relative. Britain is certainly very far behind in many things that count, but on American television, if you're unfortunate enough, you can tune in, and at any given moment you might see Simon Cowell or Piers Morgan. So in terms of talentless reality TV assholes, we're way out in front.
Paul, given the whole Bo Xilai thing recently in the news, do you feel safe as a Brit in China?
Well, I'll always consider him a friend. I feel like we'll always have Cultural Revolution era communist politics to bind us together. I do wish his wife would stop giving me that funny tasting tea though.
How do you see your comedy progressing in the future?
Probably not past the end of this evening, if I'm honest. It's not looking good.
I think we're good to go. Thank you.
Oh,
I'm sorry. No, I'm so sorry.
What are you afraid of as a Brit in a suit and shoes?
Those are important qualifiers. I'm afraid of children. I think they're too small. And have you ever seen them like try and do art? It's rubbish. Like, all the parents come around for the parents' evenings and they're like, "Oh, look at this, isn't it great?" But it's not, it's shit. I think it's about time someone pointed that out.
What makes you angry?
American English, really. I hear you pronouncing words and I just want you to put an unnecessary "you" in there. I know it's not supposed to make any difference when you're talking, but I can hear it. Is that all, guys?
It's aluminium.
It's aluminium, yes.
Paul Creasy, that's all. Why don't you just go ahead and do some stand-up?
Okay. Do I get a theme?
You do get a theme. Yeah.
Okay. Can you play that?
That's what did the trick, said true.
Okay, so, hi, I'm Paul Creasy, and I'm about to neg you. Before we get started, here are some dates for your diary. January the 14th, July the 7th, August the 23rd, and December the 30th. So, anyway, so let's get on with the set. Basically, I'm a worrier, and it's not a good thing to be. People say things like, if you worry too much, then eventually you'll get cancer. And I don't know about you, but I find that very worrying. I think it all started back when I was in secondary school. I can pinpoint the moment. It was a science lesson when I was a teenager. I was sitting at a table, and everyone at the table was a girl, apart from me. I was me. We were sitting there, and the conversation turned to the subject of snogging. Now, the verb snog, if you're not British, you might be an American English speaker, that's fine. The language that you choose to practice in your own home is entirely your own business. But the conversation turned to snogging. Now, we have this verb in British English, snog, and it means to French kiss, because only in British English could we take an act as beautiful and sensual as the French kiss and give it a verb that rhymes with bog and frog. So they were talking about snogging, and as I was sitting on the table, someone suggested, oh, what about snogging Paul? And the reaction to this idea was not positive. Basically, a girl pointed at me and said, which is not a good start to a sentence. He said, imagine snogging that. Not even a human thing. I was that. And that kind of scarred me. Also, during my teenage years, I had a lot of acne, so my skin was very greasy. You might remember what my surname is. Sort of rhymes with greasy, so these weren't happy years for me. So I feel like ever since then, I've been kind of criticising myself in a bid to make other people like me. But I feel like this evening I should turn it outwards and criticise other things, because it's all the rage in society at the moment. I don't know if any of you date. Do you date other people, like, who you fancy? Do you, like, go out? Does anyone like, have normal biological urges? I guess some of you probably do. There's always one or two. If you do some dating, you may have read some of these dating manuals that they have now. Basically, these manuals, they treat dating as if it's a kind of magic trick. Like, aha! I made you like me and you slept with me. I bet you feel stupid now. Well, I won't be making that mistake again. One of the tricks that they have in these dating manuals is something that they call negging. Negging is the act of pointing out a shortcoming of someone you're talking to try and make them like you more. So, you're talking to a woman, you point out a feature of hers that's a negative thing, and apparently that will make her like you more, because she'll feel like, he doesn't need me. It's a wonderful and charming process, I'm sure you'll agree. I'm just wondering about the children who are going to be born as a result of this in years to come. Like, Daddy, can you tell me about the time you and Mummy met? Oh, it was beautiful, son. I saw her across a crowded bar, and I walked up to her and I said, your nose is too big. Maybe you should consider surgery. Tell me I'm adopted, Daddy. And yeah, but, oh, sorry, before we go on, I meant to share this with you. I recently found out that my dad's sister, she really loves shooting down aeroplanes. So I call her Auntie Aircraft Fire. See, what I thought I'd do is tell a bad joke to try and make you like me more, but I feel like it's just increased the resentment. So we'll plow on. So I feel like I should criticise other things instead, anyway. Maybe not, people I'm attracted to. Things like, for instance, I don't know, like US foreign policy. So some of you may have been here. You may be aware that a few weeks ago, I got quite angry and I walked out of my own stand-up set. And then I came back in again, talking about potential war between the US and Iran. Talk of that seems to have cooled a little bit now. To be honest, I'm a little bit upset. See, in this set I'm going to be employing sarcasm, a device called sarcasm, also maybe a little bit of irony. So if you're not sure whether maybe I might not mean something, just look at the person next to you. If they're laughing, just go with it. Just don't even think about it. Yes, this is probably funny. It's the only way we'll get through this. So I'm disappointed that they're not probably starting this war, because you get these wonderful things before the war starts. You get this propaganda on the news. They'll have things like saying the US has invented a new weapon, the E-750 rocket. Now this rocket is so precise that when it is fired, it will insert itself directly into the pupil of an insurgent and gently deactivate the brain's living circuit, causing no civilian casualties. Then 2 weeks after the war starts, you hear a report on the news and it says 55 civilians were killed today when the US's E-750 rocket backfired into a school full of orphans. A local resident was heard to say, "Oh, for fuck's sake!" So you get things like that when the wars begin. Now the US, they've also got this, the US foreign policy. I like it because I feel like there are too many non-English speaking foreigners alive at the moment. and they need to be cut. Okay, so just look at the person next to you. It's okay. It's okay. It doesn't really mean it. Doesn't really mean it. But they've also got this war on drugs now. They've got this war on drugs that the US started a long time ago and continues to rage on. We're also proud of it. Basically, what the problem is people are having fun using drugs that the government can't make any money from, that are probably the same amount of harmfulness or less harmful than alcohol. Now, this cannot be allowed to continue. So what we have to do is destroy Mexico. Okay, we're all on the same page. This is great. I don't know. The thing is, you know, it's annoying. It's annoying, and I'm worrying, and I feel like criticizing it isn't really making it any better. But then I was thinking the other day, you know, the US, it's a coy country. It kind of hides itself behind the curtain every now and again, and maybe this kind of foreign policy, this is US politicians trying to neg the rest of the world. They just want us to love them as a country. So if we can embrace the US, then maybe all of this negging will stop. I was also thinking that if it's true what they say about negging, then one way or the other, negging does help people to get absolutely fucked. Thank you very much. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, the next comedian is Mr. David Jacoby.